Greetings and welcome, my friends. This is Dark Brazil, not to be confused with the green and yellow Brazil. We're kicking things off with a 3-lander. We do have a good set of our 3-mana artifacts, and we'll be able to land our factory on schedule. I like it. Keep your pants on. We draw a second Thundering Falls, and our first one shows us an island on top. We'll keep it as that will guarantee we'll hit 5 mana. They're on Azorius. They could be control, or they might be on the tempo deck that loves to airbend. Let's just be patient when they have mana up. Our Surveil land shows us another factory on top. We're primed to go off as soon as we have the green light to drop these bombs. We'll need the opponent to drop their Trow. They play out a Repurposing Bay. We've been put in a mirror match, or as close to a mirror as we can get. The shields are down, and we can play out a factory. In these matches, the winner is often determined by who has the most synthesizers in play. We have 2 in hand and a way to make a copy along with a helm. We got this. They throw down with a battlefront. If they score big, they can gain a huge edge over us thanks to this one card. But they get cards that land with a wet plop. Thanks to their Repurposing Bay, they'll be able to turn those into factories. It's going to take them some time to do so, and we'll have a pair of synthesizer before they even get their first one. It's time for the second factory to come on down. We'll get our first Robot Overlord, and we might be able to land the first blow. On top, we have a land and another helm. We play 3 helms, and we already shipped 1 to the bottom. 1 is good, but 2 is hilarious and devastating, especially with double factories online. They repurpose their saw blades. They'll be after getting their own factory. They want to slash prices, but we already have a buy 1 get 1 free fire sale going. They pass the turn with 3 mana up. I'm surprised they didn't have a follow-up to at least generate their first Robot Overlord. We'll go with the Waterskin. If they counter it, it's fine, but if it lands, we'll get another pair of AI men. All hail our Robot Overlords. It lands smoothly enough, so we'll follow up with a helm. They're going to need a sweeper. Even if they have one, we have additional ways to generate more Robot Overlords. Not a sweeper, but it will work. They will lose their own pile of bricks and won't be able to fetch out another factory. Their first Robot Overlord is a wee lad. Should have brought a helm, bro. We'll play out the second helm, and when the Waterskin untaps at the start of their turn, we'll have the mana to activate both helms. So easy. Even a caveman could do it. They throw down a huge Ugin. It could threaten to take over the game, but luckily we do have a counter. And while we could counter Ugin, we could also make a surprise synthesizer. Having a token factory with double helms will wreck their face. We could make a factory every single turn until Underverse come. And that's what we'll do. In fact, we'll even copy the factory they're about to take out. It will live on as a clone. They were hoping to cut us down to 1 factory, and instead, we're going to make a pile of them. On top, we have a Negate and another 3 steps ahead. We'll keep both, and in that order.
Fate flows as easily. I will not allow my progeny to continue their rampage.
They have 1 blocker and not enough life. That's GG's. Extra Robot Overlord cheese. This is Sylphina. She likes extra cheese. Don't worry, girl, we brought some. We get a 3-lander that's rather awkward. We have only red mana and nothing to use with our Repurposing Bay. We're tossing this one back and see what we catch next. Mull. Then we get another 3-lander with double Aetherize, a gunship, and a 3 steps ahead. At least this isn't as awkward as that first hand. We'll try it. Keep. We'll send an Aetherize on down. Let's hope we don't need 2. We draw a relic, and that we can play out. We still don't know what they might be up to, but Mono Black has problems. They can't counterspell, and they can't destroy artifacts. We draw a Helm with our extra draw, and usually they're not so great early, but here we can copy the relic with 3 steps ahead, then make more copies with the Helm for some draw power. We could play out the Waterskin here and get ourselves up to 5 mana, or we can hold what we got and use the 3 steps ahead for whatever comes up. We can use any one of the 3 modes. They go without any plays, and I hate to sit around and not do anything, so we will use our 3 steps ahead to make a copy of our relic. We get a second Helm, so we'll play one out. We can make copies of the token relic and keep up with their extra card draw from here until one of us kicks the bucket. They play out a Stormscape Cleric with mana for the offspring. You just had to know they were going to try to drain. They might even have the combo. That's not a good thought, so we'll want to keep mana up for our counter. This turn we'll play out the Waterskin. It's probably too early for their combo, and we'll have the mana to make another token relic. They go with another cleric along with its offspring. The drain portion has to be coming up soon. I'm sure of it. We score a factory and we'll be playing it out. On top we have another gunship and a demolition field. We'll ship the land, but the removal is nice. It clears out one of their men and will generate us a Robot Overlord. That will be it for us, though. We want to keep mana up just in case. They play out a Gaunty. It looks like they showed up with different ways of attacking their opponent. They have the Gaunt. He Gaunt do anything to us anyways. We've got Aetherize for their clerics. Steal my cards, you will not. They use a black virtue on their own guy. Just want a bit of life, I suppose. We'll be sniping their Gaunt on our turn thanks to the gunship. Gaunt takes a full 10 damage to their precious face. He has become just another victim. They go for a sweeper, but that is something we can counter. If they had a removal, I'm sure they would have used it first. And that seals it. That's GG's, extra cheese. This is Toad the Wet Sprocket. No, wait, it's some kind of weird pizza. We'll take a slice. We get a mono-red 3-lander with double bay and nothing to sacrifice to it. A Waterskin will get us blue, but way too late to make a difference. Mull. Then we get a decent 3-lander with a Relic, a Helm, a Waterskin, and an Aetherize. This is better. Keep. We'll ship the Helm even though it might have saved our bacon last game. It's time for the Relic to come on down and give us another card. We get a 3 steps ahead with it, and now I do wish we'd kept the Helm. Can you smell what we're cooking, bro? Or is it a tough life being landfall and having to be on the draw with those fetch lands? We smell what you're cooking. We know. We draw a Surveil land, but this turn we want to play out the Waterskin. Having access to 4 mana as early as possible could make a difference. They don't like the Waterskin. You smell that, boys? That's fear. They play out one of their signature men. The Hydra has arrived. Of note is they haven't played out a 3rd land. That's why I hate this deck. You have to play nearly 30 lands to make it do anything. And drawing land after land is useless if you get your men wiped. We draw a Bay, and we have a Relic who is already volunteering to take one for the team. Our Surveil land shows us an Onslaught on top. We'll bin it. We need an Uthros to make it worth firing off. We'll play out the Bay. We can't activate it this turn, but we'll be able to do so on our next turn. It's too early for their Hydra to be able to reach lethality anyways. We'll be fine not holding up an Aetherize. They play out a 2nd Hydra. The team that grows heads together gets stuck on 2 lands forever. We'll smash the Relic with our Bay and turn it into a factory. Hopefully the scry from the Synthesizer will give us more ammo. On top we have a land and a gunship. We'll send the land on down. We've got plenty of mana, but the gunship will be removal for one of their men after we hit them with Aetherize. With a Fountainport, we could even make a sushi and block a Hydra. They play out one of their golden turkeys. Countering it would be great, but we'll let them have it. We've got things to do with our mana other than trying to slow them down. They decline to send it, and we'll take the time to make a surprise synthesizer. They are guaranteed to turn their white pants into brown pants. Under the gunship, we have yet another land, but we'll send it on down. All we need is the gunship for now. Our Surveil land shows us another gunship on top. We'll gladly take it. That's another 2 Robot Overlords for us and -1 of their men. We'll drop in a gunship. Let's smite their golden turkey. Someone make some gravy. That's only 8 damages, bro. You can take it. Right in the face. We told you shipping was free. That's Golden Turkey Part 2. He flew in for the fun of it. They drop in a passage for those extra Hydra heads. Their third land has finally arrived, and it will pump their men too. That's lethality right there. Good thing we got this here Aetherize. We'll make them put those right back in their pants. There's a good chance we won't see them again this game. Our second gunship will eliminate their blocker, then we'll send it. Maybe they'll stop playing landfall now. That's GG's. Surprise synthesizer cheese. This is NK Inky. He squirts ink out of his rear when he becomes afraid. We get a 3-lander with a lot of reactionary spells, and we don't have anything for the Bay to eat. This would be a disaster. Mull. Then we get a 3-lander with double relic, a helm, and a gunship. This is much better. Keep. We'll send a relic on down. Sending the helm would also be fine, but if we get a 3 steps ahead, we want to be ready for the draw play. Our surveil land shows us a second relic on top. We'll keep it. They play out a bandit's talent, and we'll have to toss a card. One of the helms should be fine. Our relic gets us a negate. If they have more discard, we can maybe counter some of it. They double down on talents. Having the negate early would have been great, but the problem with discard is they often don't have enough removals if we can generate plenty of Robot Overlords. And they can't do anything about us drawing more cards that trigger our factories right off the top. They warp in a timeline caller. He's on the phone while delivering damages. We'll leave ourselves open again, but we'll relic this turn anyways. That's more potential card draw on board that they can't do anything about. And the relic gets us a Bay. This will be a bit slow, but they are not putting that much pressure on us. They throw down a Sunset Saboteur. I didn't think players were still trying this, seeing as how it doesn't work so great when you can build up a team of blockers. The caller comes back. He's still on the phone. We're going to hold our mana up this turn. If they do something foolish, we could make them pay. They go with a Corpses of the Lost. It'll generate them a token, and the enchantment will give it haste. They spend the mana to take a talent up a level. They keep a mana up, but that's fine. When they send it, we'll bounce their squad. We will smell you later. Inky squirts one. I heard it. It was loud. We draw a factory, and that will be our play. We hope to find a 5th land on top that we can play out on our next turn and be able to play the Bay and activate it right away. On top, we have a Waterskin and a land as we had hoped. We'll take the land first. The caller comes back. 2 damages a turn is far from being devastating. We'll go with the helm this turn. This way we'll start generating map tokens and getting our Robot Overlords pumped up. Plus, we can make a second one by copying the first one with the helm. They drop in a second Saboteur. They make horrible blockers since they trade with anything. But our AI men will be too big to be making trades. They activate their Sanctuary, but that doesn't really do anything. Thanks for tapping out, I suppose. They will not have a removal at the ready when we go to make a copy of our Robot Overlord. The decision to not send it was made. We know they're afraid. We can hear it too. The Waterskin will let us activate the Helm right now and still have mana for our counter during their turn. But I really like the Bay now. Let's send it. We can force them to block if we send both men, but let's start out small. We don't want to fall victim to removals. Inky stained it. He even checked out of his roach motel and crawled away quickly. Inky has left the building. They're likely gone, but we'll play like they might come back. The Bay will get us a gunship that can snipe their sanctuary. We've got good blocks on the rest of their men if they even send it, since they'll take a beating when we fire back on our turn. Poor Inky started out strong, but left out the back of his roach motel. GG's extra Robot Overlord cheese. This is Richie really rich. He can afford 6 collector boxes of Turtles the Gathering. We get a mono-red shuffler special. Yet again, this is not going to work. Mull. Then we get a shuffler special with a good mix of cards. We even have Relic to help us find a third land. Keep. We'll ship the crystal. We want to dig that up with a Bay anyways. Why pay 4 when you can pay 2 mana? The Relic does draw us a third land, but it's a surveil land. It's better than not getting a land. They play out a carrot cake. It's a token maker as well as life gain. Sometimes you can have your cake and eat it too. We draw an untapped land. We're a go for launch. This factory outlet is brought to you by Fountainport and the letters F and U. On top we have a land and a second factory. Suddenly we've dug up gold. I think we like them both and we'll keep them in that order. They go with a builder's talent. It'll get them a blocker now, and something juicy out of their grave later. Their rabbit comes in for damages. Gosh, little rabbit, hold on to your pants, bro. We could use the gunship to cook one of their men, but let's double down on factory outlets. Opponents love it when we slash prices. On top we have a pair of lands, but we'll ship the demolition field. That's 1 land too many on top. They play out a Kaya, and they can use her to snipe our Robot Overlords. And even if we knock her off, they can use their talent to get her back. It's a plan, but it sounds too defensive to me. They make a token instead of clearing out our Robot Overlord. We'll have to try to make them pay for not eliminating our men. We'll threaten Kaya. Let's see how important she is. They block up with their builder token, leaving their small attackers. We'll hold our mana up then and see what they do. They level up the first talent, then play out a second one. Kaya squeezes out another token. That's a team, but they're all so small. How do you kill opponents? They send it, and we'll make a surprise synthesizer. Triple factory outlets will slash prices to unheard of levels. Buy 1, get 2 free, bro. That's double lands on top. Let's not keep those. They have only 2 blockers up, so if we eliminate one of them, 2 of our men will get through. Let's do the do. Shipping is always free. To the face, bro. To the face. That's GG's extra Robot Overlord cheese. I just heard Inky staining it again. Bro, you're not even in this game. And that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.